What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and there you have it. The Giants fall to the Detroit Lions 24-10. It is what it is. I predicted this was going to happen. I was not confident in this game whatsoever. We had a lot of opportunities to score. We had a lot of opportunities to convert fourth downs, but it is what it is. And, looking at this schedule later on, we're 0-2 right now. Looking at this schedule, we've got Philly next week. We've got Tampa Bay week 4. And I'm going to that game, so that's going to be fun. Week 5, we're facing the Chargers. The Chargers seem like a beatable team, but Eli Manning's never beaten the Chargers before, so there's a stat for you guys. We face Denver. Look what Denver did to Dallas. And then we face Seattle. I think it's at home. Seattle at home. And I think Denver is at home as well. Don't quote me on that. I actually think it's at Denver. I don't know. Either way, I don't think we're winning against Denver anyway. On that performance we had at home, I mean, is there really a home field advantage at this point? No. So right now we are staring down the barrel of 0-7, guys. We are staring down the barrel of 0-7. This is one of our most talented rosters we've ever had in the Eli Manning era, and we can't do anything with it because of one positional group, the offensive line. That is the only weakness we have on this team. You can argue the linebackers, but they've been playing their butts off. They've been playing very well. B.J. Goodson, unfortunately, he couldn't play this game, but he had 18 tackles last week. Devon Kennard, look what he did again in this game. He had a great game. He only had 5 tackles, but those tackles came perfect. Jonathan Casillas remains consistent. I mean, our linebackers aren't bad. Calvin Munson struggled, don't get me wrong. He's not meant to be a starter in any shape, any shape or form. But our linebackers hold up. Our linebackers do just fine. It's the offensive line. That is literally the only position that is a true weakness on this team. Say what you want about Eli. He had the best game he could have had with that offensive line. He couldn't do anything. He had to make things work. You guys saw as soon as he was about to get sacked, he just threw it up and Sterling Shepard caught it. I mean, that is the type of plays that he has to make because this offensive line is completely terrible. They're trash. So, let's get on to the stats, then we'll go over the game. Eli Manning, 22 of 32. He actually had a pretty good completion percentage early in the game, but as time went on and the Detroit Lions started to distance themselves and score, Eli had to throw it more and under pressure and stuff like that. He actually started off pretty well in completion percentage, so I'll give him that. He's 22 of 32, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That interception, I mean, if he threw it I'm talking 6 inches more to the right, it would have hit Evan Engram in stride. He would have gained 15 yards right there. 6 inches is all you needed, Eli. I don't know. And then on top of that, Evan Engram tried catching it with one hand. It was, all right, Evan Engram was right. He caught it like this. I get that it was a little bit behind him, but you could do this. At least try. I mean, he tried catching with one hand. His hand literally went like this. I mean, it went like that. So there's my exhibit for you guys, since I can't show it on film because I'll get copyrighted for that. So whatever. That is my reenactment. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So yeah, Evan Engram could have went for a whole 15 yards there. That was a terrible interception. And just Eli's luck, too. Eli always seems to get these tipped passes that are intercepted. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was a terrible pass. But it's not like he was throwing into coverage. Evan Engram was open. So it is Eli's fault, but it's not like Eli just threw it to a defender like he sometimes does. So, an interception is an interception. So it is what it is. Shane Vereen was our leading rusher. I hate when Shane Vereen is our leading rusher. Anytime Shane Vereen is our leading rusher, we had a bad day on the ground. 6 for 28. Then Orleans Darkwall, 3 for 17. which is not a bad rushing stat. That's over 4 yards per carry. So that's actually 5 yards for over 5 yards a carry. And I don't know why we don't give it to Orleans Darkwa. I get so pissed off. Every time Orleans Darkwa runs for a good gain, we just don't use him again. It's like, all right, Orleans, you gained your 12 yards. Go ahead and sit the rest of this one out. We'll give you 2 more carries after that, but just sit the rest of this game out. It makes no sense. This guy clearly deserves to be the starter on this team, not Paul Perkins, who can't get more than 3 yards more than his actual rushes. He got 7 rushes for 10 yards. So there's the rushing game for you. As a team, we rush for about 60-something yards. That's terrible. But it's an improvement, believe it or not, from 35 of last week, which Shane Vereen almost matched himself. Evan Engram actually had a pretty good game. He dropped that what could have been a touchdown pass or could have been to the 1 yard line. Eli, guys, you got to give it to Eli. He threw some good balls this game. Some receivers couldn't make the catch. Brandon Marshall missed a clear 7-yard out or something like that. That could have got some yardage there. And then Brandon Marshall dropped an easy streak route. I'm talking, it was so easy. So easy. He dropped that as well. That could have went for more yards. And both of those passes Eli threw on the dot. And then Eli launched one, threaded the freaking needle. He was under pressure, stepped up in the pocket, and threaded the needle to Evan Engram on the left sideline. It was such a great pass. And it was right in between I think there was a linebacker on Evan Engram. And then Darius Slay was also coming. Darius Slay was coming pretty fast. I don't think Eli saw him. But it was perfectly placed right between the numbers for Evan Engram. He made the catch. It was just knocked. It was a great play by Darius Slay. You can't argue against that. But I mean, Eli threw some good balls this game, guys. You guys can't blame this on Eli. If you guys want to blame it on Eli last game, fine. But you can't blame it on him this game. Seriously. He also threw a great ball to Jarrell Adams. He was also off balance. The ball wasn't perfectly placed for Jarrell Adams, but it was only where Jarrell Adams can get it. He had to stop a little bit to get it, but he got it. And Eli Manning was off balance, so he had to just launch that one up. So great vision there by Eli to get Jarrell Adams in play. Odell Beckham 4 for 36. Oh yeah, by the way, that was Jarrell Adams, 1 reception, 38 yards. Evan Engram, 4 receptions, 49 yards, and his first touchdown. Great job by Evan Engram. Odell, I think he was just basically used as a decoy. He wasn't doing much. And when he did catch the ball, I was fearing for my life that he would get hurt again. He jumped over a defender. I think it was his last catch. He jumped over a defender and fell to the ground. I was hoping he got up pretty quickly. He did. But it didn't look like he was he's usually upset when he doesn't get his yards or doesn't get his catches, or if he stopped for a short gain. He usually gets upset. He wasn't this game. He was pretty nonchalant. So I'm guessing that Ben McAdoo didn't. The plan was not to get Odell too many reps because of his health, and I think Odell understands that, and he went with that. So I didn't expect Odell to have anything more than 70 yards this game. So yeah. And then the defense was all right. DRC was all over the place. DRC did miss some tackles. He did, didn't wrap up all the way, didn't finish tackles, but he did a good job. He had 11 tackles of his own today. So, and then Calvin Munson, 8 tackles, but I mean, he struggled. Eric Ebron lit him up seriously, and Calvin Munson couldn't patrol the middle of the field. On the run, Calvin Munson had a pretty good play on the run, stopping, I believe it was Theo Riddick, stopping him for a tackle for loss. But that was pretty much it from Calvin Munson, and he sacked Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was trying to run for a gain, so it's not like Calvin Munson was on a blitz and he got him. It was just a normal sack. And then going for our sacks, JPP got a sack, Calvin Munson got a sack, and Kerry Wynn got a sack. As far as the pressure goes, we got pressure, but not enough pressure. Like I said, we didn't finish. Olivier Vernon couldn't get to the quarterback. So yeah, Matt Stafford, 15-21, 122 yards. Just 122 yards, and they beat us 24-10. Ridiculous. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Ameer Abdullah, 17 for 86. That's ridiculous. Ameer Abdullah and the whole Detroit rushing game, the whole Detroit rushing attack is terrible. It was ranked 30th in the league. I didn't expect us to give this much yards to a terrible run team that hasn't had a 100-yard rusher since Reggie Bush was there in, I don't know, 2013. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, there was no 100-yard rusher, so there's that. I mean, if you guys want to count that as a bonus, but 86 yards from Ameer Abdullah. I mean, we let Ameer Abdullah and Theo Riddick run on us. Like, that's ridiculous. Matt Stafford is usually the heart of the offense, throwing for like 300 yards a game, and we stopped it for 122, but the only reason why we stopped it for 122 is because he had an actual run game to rely on. I bet that was something he hasn't had in a long time, and he was enjoying that. Eric Ebron, 5 for 42 and a touchdown. Marvin Jones, 1 for 27 and a touchdown. Ezekiel Ansah had himself a day on Ereck Flowers, 3 sacks. Gerard Davis had a sack, and Tahir Whitehead had an interception. So there goes your stats for you guys. A little bit of the highlights. We got Evan Engram. Great. I don't understand why. How Detroit fell for that. Play action. We do not run very well, so it's not like you had to send linebackers down, and not like the linebackers really needed, to get the running back. It made no sense for that. And Evan Engram is not a blocker, so if you see him in the backfield, he's not going to be blocking. So I don't understand why Detroit fell for that, but they did. It was a perfect pass for Evan Engram, wide open, and he gets his first touchdown of his career. He's looking very promising right now. Marvin Jones, back shoulder streak to Marvin Jones. Eli Apple completely exposed there. I don't know what he was looking at, but Eli Apple is struggling so far this year. He's been making some plays on some corner blitzes too. Had 2 successful corner blitzes. Didn't sack the quarterback, but pressured him, and also tipped the pass on a corner blitz as well. So had some highlights there for Eli Apple. Eric Ebron had a touchdown. Darian Thompson was in coverage, but I don't believe it was man-to-man. I believe Darian Thompson's zone was in the middle, and nobody was on him, and Darian Thompson had to cover Eric Ebron, and because nobody else was on him. So, I mean, it is what it is. Eric Ebron gets a touchdown. And this Agnew guy, I don't even know what position this guy plays. He's probably a cornerback or something like that. First of all, Roger Lewis, that should have been a 3-yard gain on the punt return. Just a 3-yard gain. That's it. Or was it a kickoff? I don't know. It should have been it was a punt return. It should have been a 3-yard gain. Roger Lewis right there. I don't know what. He just completely let him through. It's not like Agnew juked him out or anything. He just let him through. I don't know what was going on there. So he lets him through, and he gets a clear lane. I mean, there's Giants going right past him because they're getting blocked. The only guy that was there to make a play, Calvin Munson, couldn't wrap up. You're a linebacker. Wrap up and tackle. He couldn't do that, and he spins off the tackle. Then he spins again. It's just some like freaking twirls like a freaking tornado. And then Brad Wing, you're not going to expect your punter to make a tackle. I didn't care about that. And then he runs for a touchdown. There's that. We allow a special teams touchdown every year, at least one. So, I mean, there's one. Hopefully that's the only one, but there's one. It's expected for the Giants. Some notes I got for you guys. I think we should definitely trade for a serviceable tackle right now. I don't know who. I don't know where. I don't know, but we need to trade for one. I don't want to give up anybody from the team. But I would, trade a draft pick for one or something like that. We need a young, serviceable tackle. I don't want, like Joe Thomas sounds good, but I want somebody for a franchise. Joe Thomas is older. I want somebody for a franchise. And a young, up-and-coming tackle I would love to get. Don't ask me who. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll come up with that soon. But, there no tackles right now come to mind, but they definitely need to make a move, guys. They definitely do. And put Ereck Flowers on the right side and see how well that works out. But right now, they're going to have to start, trying out. I say just try Justin Pugh at left tackle. Justin Pugh plays everything. Try him at left tackle for a couple snaps next game. Just do it. just do it. I mean, who cares? You're going to lose the game anyway. Just put Justin Pugh at left tackle. You need to trade for one. Brendan Marshall, he missed a bunch of opportunities. He looked like he was giving Eli looks like, I want the ball, I want the ball. When the camera was zooming up on him, he gets his opportunities. Like I said, 7 to 8 yard out. Couldn't keep his feet down. He missed a perfect streak. He beat that corner clear as day. Completely beat him. Puts his hand down, and as strong as Brendan Marshall is, he just puts him down, and the corner kind of falls down a little bit off balance. Brendan Marshall couldn't make the play. He did catch a nice 17-yard pass. His route was so crisp that he had that corner fall, but couldn't get into the end zone. It's whatever. So there's that. He missed a lot of opportunities, and Brendan Marshall's not looking good right now. Calvin Munson, he struggled, like I said before. We let a terrible rushing team rush on us and completely control the game just by running. And they're not known as a running team. They're 30th in the NFL in running last year, and they've always sucked at running. So, I don't know. I say, my fifth note, activate Wayne Gallman. He was inactive today. He's on the roster, but he was one of the guys that was, a healthy scratch. I say put him in. Take somebody out like Nat Burhay. I mean, take him out. Put Wayne Gallman in as at the last spot for the active roster and see what he does. It's not like our running game is getting any better right now. There's no optimism right now. Paul Perkins is complete trash. For anyone that has him on fantasy, I told you so. So, complete trash. Put Wayne Gallman in, see what he does. He probably was the best running back in the preseason, and probably had the most promise out of all of them. So see what he does there. And then my last one was can't blame Eli. You can't blame Eli for this loss. I mean, you can't. This offensive line was terrible. It was so bad. And Bobby Hart gets hurt. Justin Pugh moves to right tackle, and it wasn't any better. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We're staring down the barrel of 0-7. Hopefully we get a win. Hopefully against Philadelphia. It's not looking likely, but hopefully against Philadelphia. Hopefully against Tampa Bay. Get us a running start before we face teams like Denver. Before we face teams like Seattle, and we face Oakland down the road and stuff like that. And we face the Chiefs. And yeah, this is gonna be a crazy season, guys. Crazy season. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.